Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Digital Casts, and this is the Events Over Time Journeyman League. And by hold, we have finally reached the end of the road. It is the semifinals for tonight. And wow, we're finally here. It's been a long couple of weeks, and this journey is almost at its end. Tonight, Two-Step Tony on his channel, he's covering Nebula versus Sanguine in the semifinals. And right here, right now, I will be covering McTeam versus New Haven, who are XO with a slight rebrand and then, new players. Regardless, these are the two teams in the semifinals, and the winner of both go towards the grand finals for a fat share of the $800 prize pool. Now, let's just take a look at the head-to-heads coming into this. McTeam, you guys know who they are. They've been in the region for quite a while. Granted, their recent results haven't been the best, I'll admit. I think it was Nebula who took them down quite single-handedly. Regardless, the lineup, Jamie, Andy, Exile, Anton, Relapse, and Dinky. They have restructured. That's the new roster. New Haven, as I was saying earlier, Exto. We have Somboy, Dat, Motion, Operator, and Mistia. Same story. New players, same team, sort of same branding, but leadership somewhat changed to an extent. In a moment, let's also take a look at the impact players of these two teams. This was Mike Oxlong. He no longer plays for McTeam currently, coming to this today, but in the past versus Sanguine, combat score 265, 16-17 for KDA, three first bloods, and nonetheless playing the newest agent in the game, Astra. So a little bit of excitement there. And on the other side, though, for New Haven, I was about to say X, though, I'll be honest. Motion versus McCoy team. This was all the way back in week 6. 343 combat score. Guy was having a blast. 21, 11, and 4 KDA as Jet with 5 first bloods. That's the perfect example of a duelist you want to see. Also, for tonight, these two teams, the vetoes, let's check it out. McTeam, they have banned Bind, and New Haven have banned Split. This is a best of 3. So we will be starting on Icebox with New Haven on attack, Ascent, that will be McTeam on defense, and the final map, assuming it goes that far, it will be McTeam on defense on Haven. So yeah, there you have the 3 maps, Icebox, Ascent, and Haven. And I'll be honest, having Icebox as one of the first maps coming into this, it's a huge curveball, I won't lie. It's a map that, it's not the newest map anymore. It was. Breeze is currently now the newest map. Some of the higher tier teams in OC, they already have strats for it. Don't ask how I know, I just know. And Icebox, right? It's been in the meta for quite a while. We've seen tournaments being played on Icebox, tournaments even won on Icebox. And frankly, it's just the only question that I have to wonder is, as first map of the night, these two teams, how well prepared are they for Icebox? Because I should say this, it's a map that it's very difficult for certain teams to play if you're not well practiced on it. But if you do have set strats for the map, then that's an easy one map advantage over the other team. New Haven and McTeam, as you guys saw earlier with the roster changes, I'm a little bit skeptical about how well both teams will play on Icebox. If they have stratted or at least played a little bit, then sure, we should have a game going on. But I predicted Icebox at the very least to be somewhat one-sided towards one team. Personally, I would assume it would have to be New Haven because they are an org, so they would perhaps have a coach in the back lines or just more practice on Icebox. On the flip side, though, McTeam, decently good players, I won't lie. They've been playing competitive 5v5 shooters for probably longer than I have, I'll be honest. I'm 23. They are perhaps the same age or older than me. And CS background in quite a few of those players, on paper, they should be sharp. They should have good game sense and be able to play Icebox reasonably well. So even though my prediction does lean more towards New Haven, I do think it will be a close game at the end of the day. Just due to the fact that one team has strats, the other team is cracked. That's it. But map 2, Bind. And by the way, guys, the Observer Crash OBS tonight, he's very happy because we won't have any more Ascent. And now, going to my previous point, it will be Bind. And well, that's a map that whichever team has better strats with the TPs wins. That's easy peasy. But on paper, once again, I can't really say much because these two teams, they've had changes. And also on the server right now, I just want to point out, though, exactly, New Haven, they do have a coach. It is Cone. He is in the coaching slot. So there you go. When they call timeouts or something, he can be the one to calm down the boys and call a strat, etc., etc. The teams, they are about to get ready. But look, McTeam, though, I just realized Mike Oxlong, I think he is still playing, but the name is slightly different. So do bear with me, and you'll find out in just a minute what the new name is. It's somewhat surprising, I'll be honest. McTeam on Icebox. I mean on Binds. I can't recall off the top of my head if they played that or not, because the most played map in the Events Over Time Journeyman League has been Ascent. So it's really a bit of a mixed bag. I can't say too much about their performance, but once again, really sharp players. Relapse, I'm expecting to see him on the Jet over on Bind, and that probably would give a advantage provided he has the operator in his hands. But nothing about Bind. Haven, the final map, attack-sided. Look, I saw New Haven play not too long ago in the Oceania Tour, I think, the qualifiers versus Nebula? Or was it Nebula or some other team? I can't remember exactly, but the point is, things did not go very well for them. It was the best of 3, and look, New Haven, it's just, that ain't it, Chief. But now, all the teams, they look to be just about ready, so we will be starting soon on Icebox. Of course, I'll reiterate, it will be McTeam on the defense and New Haven on the attack. It comes down to really what I think they play in terms of agents. McTeam, as you saw earlier, Mike Oxlong, whose name tonight might be a little bit different, he was playing Astra. And Astra on Icebox, questionable, I'll be honest. The smokes, they're not big enough. At least one Nebula, it doesn't cover, say, Snowman when you aggress onto the B sites. You're going to need 2 of those. And plus her other utility, it's just, Icebox, it just seems a little bit too open to make the full use of Astra. Granted, I'm sure a more versed team can make her work, but we should be seeing that Astra pick coming up from McTeam on Icebox at the very least. I'm expecting a Omen, and that's pretty much the only smoke you can play. Viper, maybe, but she's not an easy agent to use. You definitely do need much better teamwork with her compared to a comfort pick, such as Omen. New Haven, though, they have a coach. I'm hoping at the very least they will have a more set composition on Icebox. I'm expecting to see Viper. I'm expecting to see Jet, Killjoy, maybe another duelist, but that's questionable. Regardless, finally, both teams are ready. They called the R, I hope, and we can finally get into it. Icebox, map 1 of the day in the best of 3. See you guys on the Snowy Tundra. Well, right as we go through the agent picks, actually, on the Snowy Tundra. Defenders, of course, McTeam. Attackers, New Haven. There you go. There's the Killjoy pick. There's the Viper. There's the Jet on New Haven. And maybe a double duelist. Indeed, Raze as well, with a Sage pick finally to lock things off. So this is going to be really risky from New Haven, because on the attack side, they won't have any more solid smokes in a matter of speaking to work with. No Omen, and that's pretty much the only smoker really that's viable in Icebox. So will be Viper instead. They have to make a play with the limited toxins on for her Viper wall, no, toxic screen, sorry, that's the proper name for it, and they have to make it work for them. Aggress onto a site while blocking off vision. On the flip side, the exact same scenario for McTeam. Amy insta-locks the Reyna, and Jet as well. Reyna on relapse compared to Motion's Raze. McChicken Leg on a Sova pick, and of course Exile locking in the Sage. It's good to see, actually, McChicken Leg for McTeam on the Sova. That's something I would have expected on New Haven as well, because to be such an important intel gathering agent. Oh, look, I think they can afford to not have him, I'll be honest. And plus, you've seen the 100 Thieves games, at least. Hiko, the Sova main, the clutch god on Icebox. He always plays post-plant defense, and the Sova ultimates, it comes in clutch. Of course, if you also have the Sova lineups with the, what do you call it? The shock darts, and things would be, of course, very clutch on this map, versus to counter the Killjoy ultimate and utility. But we'll see how the teams play with it. It's diving too deep into theory won't really help anyone. At the end of the day, it just comes down to how the teams mesh with these agents. New players on both sides. So yeah, look, it's a bit of a mixed bag. And unfortunately, right now we are on a short technical pause. I think Exile, he had his binds messed up on this account. He has to emergency change it. So yeah, just waiting a little bit longer, but at least we know what the picks are. And from what I can tell you right now on my screen, I can see that New Haven, they look to be setting up for an A take, while simultaneously taking mid control potentially with Viper utility. And McTeam, they have their own Viper dedicated over towards the B site, a one-way smoke with the with their poison orb, and that should buy time for a rotation to come through. Alright, refresh my vocal cords before we finally start. And boy oh boy, you guys can't see yet, but I'll tell you right now, our cameraman, you can follow him at Crashed OBS, the premier observer for Valorant OCE, has quite the spectacle for us already locked in. And of course, once again, I am Digital Cast. You can also follow me on Twitter and Twitch. I tend to cast a lot of Oceania tour nowadays, but hey, I'm more open to cast a lot of other things. The timer has been resumed, and the pistol round will be underway in about 30 seconds. And oh dearie me. And ta-da! There you go. Now you see the nice little spectacle Crash has. Worm and nade squirrel. Oh, I didn't realize there were penguins on the back on the iceberg. That's nice. A nice touch, but now it will affect my FPS in game. Rito, please. Okay, back to the game though. New Haven, mid control, and the A split to come through. Oh, the Viper wall as well. Cuts off mid for the attackers. That's interesting. Wasn't expecting that to come through. Motion couldn't quite pop the recon arrow instantaneously while McDixie wrecked that long distance with the Marshall. That's a big investment, but lands the headshot, thankfully. Insta-kill on pistol rounds. That just firing at him does ping him down to very low HP. Has to run for a heal at this point. Pretty good paint shell. It forces the attackers into a off position, and that should be able to plant the spike relatively easily. Although granted, it's not quite in his hands just yet. Mistia dumps it down as Viper, and I don't think Relapse can actually jump on the wall. We'll take one hell of a jump. Yep, he spots out 3 players though, so that's good. 4v5 post plant. As I say that, Dats manages to even things up. Exile gets taken out. Their Sage is gone, so no wall for the DPs potentially. And back and forth, the defenders are falling one at a time. That's just popping heads right now. He's got him 3. He wants more. He's still tapping away. McDixie Rex only has a Marshall. Nothing to work with the motion. Finally takes him down. Jamie, 1-on-4. Taps away with the operator. And that just tapping a little bit too slowly. Jamie goes huge to an extent. Gets a double for himself. Always wants to come through. Spot out the leg of motion. But now they don't have post-plant util. The snake bite does come through. He's vulnerable. Jamie's burning. Manages to get out. That's a sneaky angle. It all depends. It depends to see if New Haven peeks him or not. Turns out they don't have to, as Jamie runs right into Motion's bullets. And well, after a long pistol round, finally, the first round will go to New Haven. I wouldn't really say that was a perfectly rehearsed site take, but all things considered, that was good. They lost one player early on. They struck back, and they used the utility to clear the defenders away from a closer angle over towards the spike plant area. And then the Sage all standard for the plant, and then fall back to play a distance post-plant. But now, of course, after that round, New Haven, they will be able to buy SMGs with that on the Vandal, tapping away at heads, and the entire team of McTeam classics to go. But what they are doing is good, stacking mid as an entire team. So at least if they have inferior guns, they can outnumber a solo player or 2. They're waiting for the Viper to go down. And they will push through, but the Killjoy turret by some point spots them out. He hears a lot of footsteps, so he has to be very cautious. He can't afford to die reasonably early on. Nice swarm grenade that buys time for his teammates, and they're slowly starting to fall in onto them, though. Chicken Leg takes down Mistia at that distance, the classic as well. Someboy has to get the hell out of dodge lest he fall prey to them as well. Has util out just for a moment, but still runs away to safety. So the attackers, the defenders, they have a different gun to work with, and it's been completely flipped around. We have the attackers holding defense, and the attackers, and the defenders going attack. 1-for-1 trades currently, so this isn't the best SMG buy round you want to see coming out from New Haven. And just as I say, the operator finally goes huge, sprays down 3. Jamie, once again, 1-on-3, taps away onto Dad's head, and that's really good movement from Jamie. Snapping away, and he's on the rope, and off, but no, Samba with a single Nano Swarm burns Jamie into dust, and oh, look. They won the round, New Haven. Yes, but you lost everyone. Economically, that's one hell of a blow. Unfortunately though, the last player, I think it was Somboy, did manage to save the Vandal, caught by that. And New Haven, they will have to go for the force-up in this round, using all their money to go head toe-to-toe against McTeam, who have full armor on all the players as opposed to 2 on New Haven. But the ultimates, though, Jamie, he has the Viper's Pit already available to use, and that's what the Resurrection Operator 1 off of the Blade Storm as well. Jamie, if he wants to lock that B long angle down, popping the Snake Bite is time to do it. Gets tagged down a little bit though, and he might be feeling a little bit nervous. Hiding inside the poison orb just for a time being while he escapes. He doesn't want to get shot on his way out of there. He knew Operator was on a high angle. So that's a good knowledge of the game and the angles at the very least. So far, New Haven, they played default early on. Got some intel. Got a little bit of damage, but a relapse. Oh, tapping away. That headshot angle catches motion. There's no way in hell you could have seen that Reyna's head and reacted in time. Meanwhile, Operator is still in the same old angle, waiting for the aggressive peek coming out from Jamie or Exile. Doesn't happen just yet, though. McDixie Rex, this is a bit bold. Pushes through, still catches that regardless. So the defenders, this is the best round thus far. They're systematically taking down the attackers one at a time. Now it's a 5-on-2. The question now is Somboy and Mystia. Do you want to go for the save?
30 seconds left.
Next round, it's going to be hard to eco either way. So you will lose all the rifles. It's maybe in the best interest to perhaps hold on to them and let their teammates be the cannon fodder. Jamie, surely he saw something there. Yep, spots up the leg of Mystia. Jamie spraying away. He misses so many shots, but now Somboy's getting flanked from behind. Runs right into the hands of Relapse. A flawless round to come through from McTeam. Well done. So, this is a real slippery slope, because at this rate, odds are we could be seeing McTeam start to take control and momentum, and they swing the rounds at least in their favor. They will tie this round up, I'm sure of it, but then afterwards, we should be seeing them go even further, carrying on momentum. Their economy it's perfectly fine after winning that flawless round. Ultimate's being charged up. Jamie still sitting on the Viper's Pit. This time it's New Haven who are on the eco. Upgraded pistols on a few of them, and Operator going huge there. Oh, what a dink by McChicken Leg. That was through the wall regardless, and forces Operator back for a stage heal, I do think. Jamie, the lone player over towards B, and he just does so much for his team right now as Viper. That's just how much of a buff it was. But let's talk about that in just a moment. On McDixie Rex, that's aggressive positioning. Relapse takes that motion, and the Operator finally swings and he's spraying away. But Relapse is way too sharp for him. Gets a double for himself. Dash the hell out of there. And that was probably the best hopes, I would say, of New Haven gone. The Blades. But there is a rifle down, although in a risky position. Toxic screen goes up, but the problem now is New Haven, if you take the B site, what happens to the spike? Because it's still down just outside attacker spawn. Misty and that, they have worked their way over towards the yellow box. Relapse, holding the angle. Oh, narrowly takes down Somboy. That would have been huge, but the spike has to be ferried over to the B site. I do think that we are waiting for Dad to have a heal, bring himself back up to full health, walls it off. And they can at least get the spike planted, but Jamie already holding that angle, spraying away, gets one for himself, gets straight out by Misty. The spike can get planted, and Exile had the time to go for the reload. Just so much luxury right now for him. Still sends the last player, Misty, has a Phantom to work with 4 bullets though. If he reloads that, he'll be in a really rough position. Spots that relapse on the jump down. Marshall is out. Shot is out! What a shot onto Exile! 1-on-1. Jamie's right above him. Misty has no idea. The drop down, and McChicken Leg does get the better of Mystia, but that flick, my god, was awfully close. He could have just done it. That was actually a really good round from New Haven. They lost a few players initially, and off of, honestly, pistols and good utility usage, they managed to plant the spike and bring it to 1-on-1. Economically, that's a bit of a blow to McTeam. But like I mentioned earlier, they had money in the bank to work with, so it's not going to hurt them that much. And they still haven't really used the ultimates on their side just yet. My goodness gracious, you have to be wary of that round. Things came so close. Here. New Haven, though, they can buy back, but once again, it's a bit of a do-or-die round. They lose this, they'll be back onto the eco. But on the flip side, the 3 ultimates still play with motion. The showstopper. I do expect them to use it on the site take aggressively, and Operator Dash is already up. looking towards the angle where Relapse was playing in the first place, and McDixie Rex can't actually see the players pushing out just yet. Maybe the catch one, misses the angle, and has to fire off a stray shot. That's just a safety. Defenders are still holding steady though. Mistia takes down one, and this time Relapse, couldn't quite land the shot. Mistia nets himself an easy double. The ultimate, the Viper's going to be dunked down real soon. McChicken getting off there, catches one, catches himself two. Mistia was already about to pump out the Viper's pit. It doesn't matter though, New Haven, his team is there to back him up. They clean the B, the A side right open, and it's down to Jamie, 1v3 to retake. The most impressive thing about that round was 4 players of McTeam are dedicated over towards the A side, essentially every single round. And New Haven, they still insisted on going over towards A and still won it. But however, they're not really playing strong crossfires. Not that it really matters because Motion locking down the angle so sharp takes down Jamie, and the Resurrection Operator, just for good measure, bring the economy back up to full health. As good as well from New Haven. They're cycling their ultimates, as Crash OBS behind the camera he would say, in order to get that Sage Resurrection back and, you know, just boost everyone's economy to be roughly the same. Besides that, on the 5th round right now, 6th round, sorry, that he'll have the Resurrection back, ready to use, and maybe 3-4 more rounds, presuming he does play somewhat well. Besides, on the attack side, the ult orbs, especially over towards the B side, it's reasonably favored towards them. Similar story now, but this time McTeam playing a bit of a crappy buy, dedicating only 3 players over towards the A side while the flank to come through on defense. Wow, there's a player lurking around for the attackers, really deep inside attacker spawn. Motion progresses over to the A side, a high angle. That could be a potential huge lineup there. That Spike will get planted safely. Oh, Motion just spot out McDixie Rex, tapping away. Those blades are so dangerous as Misty is the one to fall prey regardless. And McDixie Rex is still tapping away. Finally gets taken down by Motion. However, players have died and he has to fall back. 4v3 now. Retake is favoring McTeam, and Jeremy missed. That gets caught in the corner, has to die. Nothing he could do. And the Viper to come up from Jamie. Great dodge, actually. And Motion, he could be the key to winning this right now. Jamie tries to defuse that paint shell. Doesn't actually do anything as Jamie does escape to safety. And what a retake off of a crappy buy from McTeam. They make things work out for them fantastically. Filch only rifles off of their dead enemies. And it's still a tie game, 3-on-3. Finally, Jamie chose to use his ultimate, not for early round site defense, but rather for the spike, retake, and defuse. And by God, was it perfect? It forced Emotion to play really aggressively, and I honestly thought he would have gotten the kill into Jamie with the paint shells. Didn't happen though. On this round, finally, we're seeing an operator in play on McDixie Rex. That name is hard to say. I'm just calling him Dixie. This time, locking down the B angle, really long distance. That's a great initial snake bite as well, but Operator just flies right over it. Zero fear. Same story by Jamie. I really like that, actually. Using the poison orb to jump to safety. But Relapse over towards the A side. This is the first time he's done this. And Sunboy, you have a knife out, buddy. Misses a shot! Relapse, not like this! He gets caught out now! Oh, that's a brutal punish. He couldn't afford to miss that shot. And that's finally a fantastic headshot by Dixie on the flip side to even things out. I'll forgive him for missing the flick early on with that clean headshot. I spotted out just the ponytail of Sage. New Haven, they've made the call. The Spiker will be going over towards the A sites. And there's only 2 defenders currently on the site to hold things down. Sunboy, the lockdown that should allow them to take the site relatively cleanly because there is no Hunter's Fury to deny them of the ultimate. 4-on-4, but we are seeing, I think, 3-player flank potentially come through, leaving only the Sage on the A side to try hold things down for a bit longer. Operator, he doesn't care though, pushes so aggressively, while Misty holding the flank. May engage with 2 players. Takes down one. McChicken leg, almost getting the flick on the second, but Jamie, just a little bit too faster, trades back. New Haven, once again, the post plant stuck reasonably deep, and Sunboy somehow not getting the kill. Jamie, what a sharpie! All down to Motion, 1-on-2. Has the showstopper to play with. He has to wait for Jamie to peek because he's tapping away. McDixie Rex gets taken out. Motion heard the jump as well. Jamie is on even footing with them. No Motion clutches it. 3 kills for him. Wow. You could feel the adrenaline perhaps running his veins just a little bit. He knew exactly where the last 2 players were, and that was really unfortunate, I will say, for McTeam. They had the 2v1, but they played that just a little bit too slow, and I would say the coordination wasn't quite there. some blind spots towards that angle and just allow Motion to play that 2v1 in perfection. And mind you, the showstopper still hasn't had to be used either. Saving his ultimate for the right time, one can assume. Same story by Jamie, but Operator, oh my god, what was that shot? That was way too sharp. I think it peeked right out of the toxic screen and then took down Jamie. So that's no Viper util on the defense to work with. No orb, no wall. I only have one snakebite left, so not the worst thing in the world, I would say. But same story by New Haven. They showed aggression over towards B, got a pick there, and they're getting back over towards the A side now. 4-man stack. Dixie, you have the Operator back in your hands, but you need the initial first shot. Backup is coming. And Dixie, surely you hear the util in the footsteps. Holding this angle. Oh, that doesn't get shot just yet. Exile brings Jamie back into the fray with a resurrection. And that, he gets red like a book. They know how he plays that angle every single time. Steps up close to wall things off before it could go for the spike plant. Operator, I mean, that was an Operator. That was a Dixie just lying in wait. But Somewhere, this is an excellent lurk. But absolutely terrible spray. Exile may as well get the kill into him while Dixie's tearing things up over towards the A side. Finally, Operator manages to take one back. But look, what a disastrous round from New Haven. They had the advantage initially, and they lost it. Left. Now Dixie, ooh, nerves of steel, does let Operator cross the safety. And surely they know right now that the spike, it will be ferried over towards the B site. Time, though, running a little bit short. Just over 15 seconds to play with. And B site hasn't exactly been fully taken just yet. So I'm going to have to use util. Ah! And it's a good angle. Relapse walks, runs to his crosshair. And Exile tapping away. Can't even catch Operator. That's disastrous. Finally gets him! And there's no time to plant the spike. Someboy, dearie me. Go for the save now at this point. There's no way he can land his final 2 kills. It doesn't even cap it because Exile gets 2 for himself. He used the resurrection in that round. And look at that. He's already 2 out of 7. Back up, charging it. Jamie and McChicken Leg, not too far from their own ultimates as well. Dixie, obviously, he'll be looking to play with the Operator coming back into this round, as he will have the Blade Storm to back him up should things get a little bit close range and dicey. But New Haven, oh gosh, look. Motion still has the showstopper. Maybe it could have been put into use that round initially to buy positioning and scare off a few players. But now they're forced onto another eco. Numbers, once again, 4 and 4. Operator, though, with the blades looking to go really aggro, while the defenders, they fall back. Jamie does get spotted out, and Operator knows he is over towards Snowman. Though Exile, this is a really sneaky off angle. Scope down on Vandal, that's a little questionable though. Spots with the head of one, and gets the one initial kill. The trade back instantly by Operator. He still knows that Jamie is still over towards there, but the timing and the Viper wall just a little bit high keeps him safe for the time being. Now, New Haven, this is good. If they get the spike planted really fast, hard, and dirty, and now they can play post plant. So the pressure, in a sense, it is on McTeam right now. They have better guns, numbers are even, but they have to work fast. Upgraded pistols can still absolutely wreak havoc should you not play too carefully with them. I'm surprised that actual recoil arrow didn't tag anyone. Operator, the key to staying alive, misses the initial shot, and Dixie takes him down though. That trades back, and the upgraded pistols are doing work right now. Jamie has to go aggro, takes down the kill, and that point blank executes another. It's all down to the last player, Chicken Leg, and he has no time to defuse. He has to go for the kills at this point. Don't let them survive. It doesn't matter. That way too sharp with the Sheriff confirms the triple, and that's the round win going the way of New Haven. What is this game? We're seeing ecos left, right, and center in rounds they should not be happening. McTeam. Okay. They had every advantage in that round. And now, they're the ones on the back foot, forced on the eco. You do have ultimates in some of their hands and upgraded pistols. Jamie, the Viper's Pit, probably not looking to use it this round, saving it. Meanwhile, New Haven, guns all the way. This should be a crazy fast A-take for them. And Operator now tapping one into relapse. He's aware of the angle. It's just a tad sharper. Although the distance, though, that he doesn't get protected by his team. But it doesn't matter, because finally Motion pops the showstopper, takes down one. Operator cleans up the A site. Spike gets planted. And it's a 2v4 post-plant retake for the defenders. And by God, are they so split apart from each other. Seems to be damage is the word, but that's what they're looking to do right now. Of course, by some miracle, if they can retake this site and get the kills, that will be most favorable. It does seem though New Haven have every angle covered just about. Exile, he has upgraded pistol. He can go for the kill, and the robe doesn't manage to land the shot. Oh, actually does finish off motion. I won't lie, but he wasn't really long for that world. 3 players essentially trained on his angle. Jamie now this is with the classic. Oh, I want to get stacked down by operator. Scope down of all things as well. Another little cool bit of trivia I want to point out is that in this game we have been seeing more scope down rifle kills than anything I've seen across the entire season of LPL. Quite interesting, I have to say. But hey, you need every advantage if you want to win, because best of 3, single elim, you lose, you're out. The entire full buy forced up by McTeam, no money in the bank for Dixie. He's top fragging, so that's good, but now with the operator playing over towards the A sites, maybe able to catch out one player should motion peak up high. But now Jamie on his lonesome again, similar story, calls for a rotation over. He's hearing too much noise over towards B long. And a spike again by New Haven, just ditched outside attacker spawn. One of the few players, they play slow and they play careful. Now, I do think Jamie, that Viper's Pit, it was terrible because it's not really blocking off anything. Either that or my play, but I don't know what I'm talking about. But operator opens up, Exile's gone. Jamie now playing a little bit sneaky, but yeah, indeed, the Viper's Pit was bad. But Jamie maybe catch one to the back of his head, executes operator. So at least numbers are even. And that's the power of the toxic screen. Toxic screen? Toxic screen. Whatever. New Haven, it has been their MO in the past to work over towards the B site and then get back over towards A, but they do go over back to B just to bring the operator back into the fray, the resurrection, and now the worst part is he has his Blade Storms online from dying earlier.
30 seconds
now
left.
New Haven surely aggressing over to the A site, relapse misses the initial engagements and will be forced back. They are going to play a retake though. Numbers are 4 on 4 and tapping away. That's great by relapse. Using the Empress, and that Sage went down so quickly. Time is running short though, and McChicken with the Hudson Fury takes down motion. New Haven not like this round. Misty can't get the kill initially. Finally gets one to relapse, and the spike can just get planted in time. Some boy so close to death. Misty has to go humongously inside this pit. Especially now in the 1v3. Pushes out, doesn't even catch anything. Recon arrow come through. Executes one. Still hiding around though. The reloader is hurt. Jamie is above him. Jumps down. Misty! Oh my god, the jukes! This is getting insanely tense. He's behind the enemies now! Dear me, this is masterful play that we're watching right now. Misty up. Has the backturn against him. Spots on one, gets the other! Full quadra kill! Excellent clutch by Mistia. Confirms the round win. And essentially saved New Haven this round. My god. The patience, the trigger discipline, the audio cues. What can I say? That was brilliantly played. New Haven had no business winning that round. McTeam invested so many ultimates and utility just to deny the spike plant. Some boy sacrificed himself just to get it down and then left it all in Misty's hands. And by God, did he deliver. This time, McTeam, in the last round of the first half, they can just about force into this. Scrappy guns on some players. But now, New Haven not struggling at all. The best part is they have the Killjoy lockdown to take the A site with. As you can see, Sunboy going to this standard position to dump it down. Interesting snakebite lineup. I'm not too sure what it would do. Perhaps clear a close angle. And Exile, he wants an early pick though. Early shots are fired, does take down Mistia, so that's post-plant Viper util gone for the time being. And McTeam, bear in mind, they still have the Sage res to work with this round. While Relapse, he does get tags, needs his teammates to babysit him for the time being. Spike goes down by New Haven, easy peasy. 4v5 post-plants. 4v6 essentially. So they have to make the util do the work for them. Motion, even things up, and the best thing is he took down Exile, and that's the resurrection gone. Numbers are truly 4 on 4 now. Relapse, let's go here, go huge, aggressive, takes down one initially, dismisses away, spots out 2 players, one up high on the pipes and one over towards Nest, while they're tapping away though, the defense is coming through. There's a really aggressive play by Dab. I don't think that the paint shots managed to do anything. Well, Dixie Rex, he just goes with the defuse all the way, and my god, McTeam, they stole the round from under their noses.
Switching sides.
that was a really interesting plant spot, I will say, by New Haven. No one holding post plant over towards pipes and belt could see anything. They had every advantage. Site was cleared off of the Killjoy ultimate, so it's a bit of a mystery why they planted in such a poor visible spot. So McTeam, as a result, coming into the second half, they are down by 2 rounds, but 2 rounds, that's nothing. They win the pistol, that will basically guarantee them a 7-7 scoreline. But New Haven, a team with a coach perhaps, probably not expecting to let that happen. Oh, motion. It's a bit of a risky play there. It does have the backup of Operator, and they're tapping away. No damage just done yet, but they have intel. 2 players of McTeam are over towards Belt, and Jamie, aggressive play, and works out successfully. That gets taken out of the equation. No Sage util to work with. I do think he was saving the wall for a post-plant defuse. Exile gets taken down, though. Oh, Jamie trying to get the kill. Doesn't let Operator escape with his life. Things looking good. McTeam, this is the start they needed. 2 players down on defense, and Relapse just snaking his way over onto the A side. He may spot out a player if he looks up high. No, the barrel isn't exposed just yet while Motion still holding over towards mid. He's aware, though, the spike is being planted over towards the A site, but he doesn't know that Relapse is right under him. Great paint shell. It might be doing a lot of damage. I take it back. It does nothing. Relapse now, he's in a really nice position. Should be able to catch the initial engagement over towards the sites, while McDixie Rex does get forced out, and Misty just tapping away. He was fragile after the wall. Relapse, there you go. There's a sneaky position, doesn't get exposed though. Has to confirm this kill. Finally gets taken down from the side. New Haven, they're getting the numbers one at a time. Sunboy cleans up, and what a great retake by New Haven. They lost no players on that retake. McTeam, yet 4 alive, and not a single trade to come through. New Haven, they just played that retake super slowly. They had intel of where a few players were, and you saw earlier, Misty, a fantastic opener with the snake bite. If Dixie stayed under that little angle in the corner, he would have died to the util. And he peeks out, he's in a risky position because he's fragile. He's already half HP. It only takes like a few bullets to kill him. So it was a die or die situation, really. No jet dash to work with off the top of my head. But now, McTeam, this isn't the start you wanted in the second half. As a result, we are going to be looking at a absolute Hail Mary rush over towards the B site. But there's 3 players. No, over towards the A side, I'll take it back. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. Great paint shell initially. And Jamie, oh, not long for this world. I would expect the paint shell. He already did so much damage while Motion gets the initial kill. That's there to pinch them in. One at a time, McTeam. They're getting flushed down the toilet. McChicken leg now. Not long for this world. That farming the resurrection Exile by himself, and it will be Sunboy to confirm the final kill. Wow. Hard, fast, dirty, flawless round coming out from New Haven. Now, they're leading by 4 rounds. They can comfortably play the bonus. While McTeam, yep, they got the buy rifles and hope to the gods they don't lose this round. They're on the attack, and let me tell you, on defense, if you play the bonus, it's not bad, I'll be honest. You can play some sneaky angles and tight corners and run and gun with the Spectres. It does a lot of damage. Oh, Jamie, similar story to the first half as well. He's charging up the Viper's head. Exile, initial peek, and he has to run the hell out of there while Chicken Leg is there to back him up. That emotion, gone. So I would say it's a good strat initially. It just didn't quite work out how they expected. Or New Haven pushing aggressively on the bonus. Although the aggressive push has worked out, Sunboy somehow worked his way behind the enemy lines. Misty, oh no! Wasn't expecting there to be someone holding his hand. What's into Sunboy now? Watch that relapse. Yep, that's bad. Not long for the world. Relapse taps him to death. And well, a flawless teammate to come out from McTeam. Turns out rifles was all they needed at New Haven. That was not it. Although granted, it was good by Sunboy. Oh no, sorry, he was on the defense. It was good by Sunboy to get sort of underneath the attacking team, but he couldn't really confirm a kill. That was the worst part. Now, Operator investing in the Operator really early on. Playing over towards mid though, but that's exactly where McTeam is avoiding. Misty, oh dearie me, you missed the poison orb initially. Do you have time to throw it down again? Because you may be spotted just by util. Oh, misses a second time now. He will have to abandon it while everyone else will be pushing through. Relapse holds the angle down, and Misty by himself peeks out with the snake bite, trying to buy some more time for the rotate to come through fully. Goes down to his death. Dixie, great initial movement just to get sort of behind the enemy lines while Somboy gets one of the chicken leg. Dixie, surely here's the reload. This is a great position, and Somboy has no idea. Gets taken down. Finally, the trades are coming through from New Haven, motioning that to take down players, but Jamie trades back. Jamie goes huge while Relapse catches the final kill. New Haven, your lead is starting to drizzle away. Going up by 2 rounds now, and that $5,000 investment on the operator by operator is now in the hands of Dixie. Yeah, that's not good, to say the very least. Dixie and Jamie, they have their ultimates in tow. The Blade Storm as well for Dixie. So once again, if he does get into a bit of a dicey situation, he can use the Blades as backup. While Relapse, Chicken Leg, and Exile, in fact, everyone on McTeam, they're really close to having their respective ultimates online. There will be the Force Up, upgraded pistols on New Haven. Although things aren't starting off too well for them as Operator gets taken out. There's only one player on the B site waiting for the cavalry to arrive. While Relapse is going so aggressive, and that should be an easy kill for them. Takes down that. While Motion is going to have to get the hell out of there and wait for his teammates to come through. Spots out a few players for short. It does do damage onto Dixie, so the Marshal, it's not good for nothing just yet. Dixie, he wants to heal from Exile. And Exile, yep, he's dead now. That's gone. The 1-for-1 trade, but they're losing players slowly but surely. Misty takes down 2 for himself. And Motion, it's his job right now just to do damage and let Misty with the Sheriff to clean things up. Motion, this is quite the aggressive angle. And doesn't quite spot out Relapse right under him, so it's all down to Misty now. 1-on-3. He's got to ace it to try sort of win this round. The spike is 6 away but too far. Misty, surely not another tap. Oh, Relapse is so close to death, but Relapse finally scraping around, confirms the final headshot, and gets the hell out of there just in time. Oh, they got close though. McTeam, great momentum swing. That's 3 rounds in a row, and then now they're only 1 behind New Haven. At this point, if you're New Haven, you have to really start sweating, because McTeam, they've been playing these rounds really well. Quite a lot of their players surviving post-plant. And look at the economy, really healthy across the board. Meanwhile, New Haven, again, you have a loss bonus, sure. But you lose this round, it's going to have to be another half by Eco. So they have to make this one count. They have the ultimates to play with. In paper, there's no reason they should be losing this.
Toxin screen down.
Mistia taking Jamie's place now. Gets spotted out. Opting to hold down the fort right there at yellow, and there's Util flying his way. Dixie Wrecked spots out the shoulder of Tomboy. Can't get the kill just yet though, and dearie me, I feel bad for him. It doesn't matter because that's there to clean things up and protect his little teammate. Oh wow, fantastically played. A single alarm bot, I think, and the Sage Slow. It swung New Haven this round completely in their favor. Misty gets a kill onto McChicken Leg as well. Holds down to Dixie in Exile. Probably trying to save this round. There's no way in hell unless a few of these players go absolutely enormous. That has the better angle, catches out Dixie. The flick wasn't quite fast enough. Finally, Exile gets one back. 1v4. Slowly but surely, McTeam, they are dying out. Yep. That just a little bit too sharp. Quadra. And that's the ultimate for him as well, going to the next round. Things looking pretty good. Although, McTeam, I mentioned earlier at the start of the previous round, they have so much money to work with, so this is a pretty simple reinvestment. And Dixie, buying the operator again on the attack side, I always have mixed feelings about Jets buying operators while they're on the attack side. It's just not that easy to use when you're sort of in movement. You have to be more mobile when trying to take a site. Although, almost 10 ultimates now online, you do have operator 1 off. You may get it just now. Dixie, just a little too sharp, opens up, takes down Motion, just a clean headshot. And it's a 1-for-1 trade operator. The better Jet has the Blade Storm to work with now. And Chicken Leg just a little bit too slow on the Hunter's Fury. Can't catch anything out of it. That's disastrous. Relapse as well, dinking that, but not able to finish the kill. Operator holding down this angle in a slow orb. Should guarantee him this kill. Operator knows exactly where Dixie died. And, wow, Relapse had good game sense, but Somboy just a little bit too sharp on the aim. New Haven, 4-on-4 post-plant. They have a Resurrection available as well to bring Somboy back in. And that's a sneaky angle. Operator just lurking around, takes down Exile. And New Haven, I think they want to save the Resurrection while using the Killjoy lockdown. And now they have no res to work with. Dixie Rex takes one, and Chicken Leg, this could be huge. Well, Operator trying to dash off to the side, get a few kills. Doesn't matter, well, Dixie Leg strikes back. Operator had his gun cocking. And McTeam, oh my god, what is this game? It just seems that whenever one team has the advantage, they absolutely choke it towards the end. And the team that started off rough, they bring everything back. I'm speechless. It shouldn't be happening. New Haven, you had confirmed intel on where Relapse was playing. You had more than enough util to take him out. Finally, Someboy did. But then, it was questionable as well. A Resurrection on that. There was no one of McTeam over towards mid. You could have brought Motion back into the fray and, you know, given yourself the man advantage as well as the Showstopper ultimate, just firing it blind into the Viper's pit. It would clear quite a few angles. But now, they lost the round, and it will have to be a reinvestment, an expensive one nonetheless. They lose this, back onto another eco, and McTeam. You know, I remind you already, they have, well, they had a lead, I was going to say. Oh. McTeam somehow dodging the shock dart. And he always gets caught out in this position. He cannot escape, so it's just a little bit unfortunate. And yep, the snake bite or something, and Chicken Leg with a single shock dart finishes off Mystia. Great initial opener for McTeam. So what we do need to see is the adaptation to come through from New Haven. Get Mystia out of the angle and stop playing there. It's just not working out. And Motion, you know, towards the attacker's spawn. He almost got a kill there. He did damage, but does get taken out by Relapse. Operator does confirm the rotation hasn't occurred just yet, but he is the lone source of defense. Now, this could be huge for him. Misses the initial spray. Well, wants to get the hell out of there. He doesn't want to challenge it any further. They know exactly where he is. Nice off angle, though. Still doesn't matter. Relapse is way too sharp. Sniped him down.
30 seconds.
Surely not Relapse. Not another one, because you're going to get punished as that just juking around. What a shot. 3-on-3. Mystia, you do have the Viper's pit to work with, while Mystia with the Operator. That's a bit of an aggressive angle. You can spot out 3 players there. One wants to duck down to safety. Great flick onto Somboy. And he pulled the knife up before he even I can realize what was happening. That's trying to play an aggressive off angle. Doesn't quite spot out Dixie. I think Dixie missing yet another shot. So this has to be the time to strike right now. Viper's pit to come through. Oh, and that shot narrowly missed him. Mystia, this could be his chance to sneak a potential defuse. No save or just yet. Mystia has to defend the stage while Jamie from behind. The double execution. Ugh. It takes one Viper to no one, I suppose. McTeam versus New Haven. Once again, tie game. 10-on-10. And I think earlier on in the intro, I mentioned that either this goes reasonably one-sided, I was favoring New Haven because they was supposedly to have you know, better strats, or it could go really close because it's a map that's a bit dicey, neither team I'm particularly good at. And look, potentially that is what's happening. You have really cracked players on McTeam, and if anything, they actually have better strategies, one can say. Five-man A assault, while New Haven, they are on the eco. So they have to play fast now. Get that early intel before it's a little bit too late. You can't start bleeding players soon. Motion, now they get spotted out. Confirms that there's a player so close now. Relapse once again. The sneaky Reyna catches out the rotation. The pinch as well from the team. Beautifully played. A side taken so cleanly. And Chicken to hold down the defense. Takes down 2 for himself. And look, this is what happens when you as a team, you're on the eco, don't push it together, everyone. You lose players. Mystia finally trades back, but he himself, though, it's actually one shot from death. Operator walked right to the crosshairs and Relapse cleans up. Really clean, fast, easy round for the team. And now both teams are on double digits, but McTeam is 1 off of match point. Things are getting dicey now. And very, very dangerous for New Haven. Their economy, it's a bit busted. And now, look at this. They're buying into this round. And if they lose, it's game over. Pretty much guaranteed. You won't be able to buy into the next round if it's match point for McTeam. And look at the rate McTeam have been playing. The second half, it's all theirs. It's essentially 6 rounds back to back. And they're not looking to drop more. Although New Haven now taking a page out of the McTeam's playbook. Viper solid defense over towards B. And you have a quick rotate to come through. 3 players stacked towards the A site. But McTeam just a little bit too ahead of the curve. Huge lineup though! Sonboy! Fantastic time. He sprays down 2. Relapse finally gets 1 back. Sonboy still tapping away, but Relapse, this guy's just way too sharp. Oh, though, the dismiss manages to escape the safety, and the operator, couldn't quite catch the timing just right as Relapse escapes the safety. There's a 1 player over towards the B side to hold things down. Initial shot was missed by Dixie on Mistia. He gets taken down before trading things out. 2 on 2. Ultimates on both sides. Hunter's Fury and the Empress, but Motion has the showstopper. The timing has to pay off fantastically. No smokes on both sides to work with. Maybe you have some smokes on Jet, but now Relapse he's chosen to pop the Empress. New Haven, they're aggressing on now. The double swing potentially. Motion, you can't afford to die right here, as Relapse will take you out of the air like a play pigeon. 1v2, Relapse on 4 kills already. The ace is in his hands at this point. Rico, no, that's fantastic. You know exactly where the last player is. Spike is ticked away too far, and New Haven is gone, baby. Operator cannot possibly get that final kill. Loses the Operator. McTickle Lake, 1 person surviving, and McTeam, they had money to work with. New Haven, they lost that round. This will be an eco from them, and even though it says match point, the game, it's basically done, I would say. New Haven, this is going to be a very tough buy coming out from them, forcing everything into this. 2 Guardians, 1 Judge, and only 2 proper rifles to play with. You have ultimates, though. This may be the game changer. And Motion, time and time again, just holding on to the showstopper. Oh, dear. Now, they are down by 2 rounds, and the worst part is, you know, if you bring it to overtime, good for you. But you have to win these 2 rounds almost flawlessly. You can't afford to lose players. That's economy damage that you can't afford to have. And Mistia, no, the swing. Dixie just locking down the angle. That's an easy kill. B-side's essentially opened up. Only a lone sage to try to hold things down. And that, you pick through again. You're not going to be long for this world. Oh, Relapse once again. The sneaky rain on the lurk. Finally, this time, they know better. And a spike, it will get planted. No resistance. Operator, oh, that's a bit of an aggressive play. Didn't quite spot out Jamie in time, and that has to heal his teammate. Dixie just gets the easiest kill of his life, and Operator finally strikes back, though. Both blade storms are popped. You have the lockdown, and of course the showstopper. But Operator, he's going to shoot for his team, and finally swings 2 players, gets taken out. Sonboy, that's a really nice angle, and this flushes the attackers essentially onto the side. They can't afford to back off. Sonboy, the advantage, the swing, takes that chicken leg, and good clutch this down. Sonboy triple does manage to clutch things down. 11 to 12. New Haven did not have it just yet. But by God, that took everything out of them to win this round. And look at the economy, it's not going to be that good either. New Haven, okay. Now what? Another force fight on most of your players. Operator has the Operator. Everyone else, though, you got to buy cheaply into this. Like, just, you know, weigh things up. Do I want useful? Do I want half armor? Or do I want a nicer gun to play with? Well, McTeam, time and time again, they have money to play with. They aren't struggling. And Motion still on the showstopper. We have to see that in play this round because it's the last round now of regulation. 11 to 12. Either this goes OT or New Haven. They take map 1 rather closely. McTeam going for the aggressive A take as a team, and this time Dixie, he gets walked into the bullets. Operator gives him his last rites. No sage res on both sides. Operator gets a second now. What is going on? This is back and forth. Motion even sniping down Exile. McTeam, not like this, not overtime. Motion, this is a great angle. Takes out another, and simultaneously, flawless round from New Haven, and we're going to see overtime on map 1.
Switching sides. Overtime.
I was not expecting this. I won't lie. I said it could be a close game, but not to this extent. Huh. Well, we're here now. New Haven, they don't want to lose. McTeam, they don't want to lose either. I would assume their pride is on the line because one of the organizers for Events Over Time, Karath, he's on good terms with the boys on McTeam. And let me tell you this, if McTeam, they failed this, they would not hear the end of it from Karath. So that's perhaps why they're playing so hard right now, just to win things out. Of course, overtime number 1 and McDixie. Hefty investment, investing all $5,000 into the operator. No armor to play with. But however, he is locked over towards the A site. New Haven on the attack. Similar story. Similar Viper wall on Jamie as well. And we've seen this round happen so many times. Deja vu, literally. Updraft by operator. It forces Jamie away. And the spike still dropped over towards attacker spawn. Rotations have come through though. But the reason why this round, McTeam, they're more confident with rotating players over towards the B side is because you have Dixie holding down A long distance with the operator.
Here.
And you have him once again, similar story, playing default, playing really slow. They want an initial pick to play with before they choose which side to hit. Although I do think they're going to show aggression over towards B, bait out of rotation, and cutting noise right now as they commit to the A site towards the end. As you can see, the spike is already being brought over. One at a time, though, they're getting out of there. The Viper wall to come up, and that's the fake. That's the beauty of it. But the only issue is it's such a long distance out of B main. So I don't think the fake is really working as McDixie 5K investment is paying off. Relapse point blank though has to go huge here. Sonboy takes down 2 for himself. The operator and the Reyna. And Spike is passing the really open position. This post one should be nice and beautiful. Shock dart missing. That's not what we want starting things off. Or the operator does get taken down by Exile. So numbers are even 3-on-3. Oh, look at this, Sonboy. You have to kill your lockdown. You have to get to survive here, young man. Well, Exile takes him down. No, that's not what you want happening. Of a misplay there, I have to say, by New Haven. This is overtime. You can't afford these mistakes. Missing in there, 1 of 3 to clutch things out. Great start. But may not be aware that Exile's so close under him. The thing to come through. Exile. Oh, just a little bit too sharp. And a little bit too aggressive with the positioning. Jamie does manage to defuse. And McTeam, they take the first round in overtime. It's just these small things, I would say, by New Haven.
Match point.
They had the even man advantage. Sonboy had the Killjoy lockdown and goes for the solo peek. You know the attackers, they're going to be coming from that angle, at least one person, or maybe even more. He couldn't get a single one. A little bit of damage was done, but gets taken down so easily. That Killjoy lockdown could have been the absolute kicker to win the round.
We survived.
Now, McTeam, they're on match points. New Haven, they have to strike back fast on the defense this time. This mid play has come out a few times, but that may be the linchpin here. This is huge. He's already behind me. McTeam, there's almost a lineup. Catches one only. The numbers are still even, and the paint shell comes through. It forces the players back in motion. Gets that easy kill into Jamie. No Viper useful to work with. Don't tell me we are going to see overtime part 2 and only the first map. Motion for sure spotted the jump by McChicken Leg. But Mojo, where are you looking? McChicken Leg's so close. Dixie, you had your teammates covering the angle. Oh god, it's these small things. I can't get over it. New Haven, once again, they lose the man advantage. And now Exile takes down that, who walks around to his crosshairs. Dixie just has to buy time. Oh, Chicken Leg, he gets a triple. He swings, helping his teammate out. And McTeam, they take the first map, 14-12. We almost saw double OT there, but it didn't actually happen. Oh god, I can't really believe that only map 1 came this close because what is this game, really? It shouldn't be happening, but at least map 1 Icebox does go in the favor of McTeam. New Haven, they kept coming so close, and it's just really small mistakes that I would say they couldn't iron out, and maybe discipline to an extent, especially that final round there. The second final round in overtime. Oh, I don't really want to talk about it, but what on earth was that? Sonboy, he had the lockdown. And he almost threw that round. But look, not really much to be said here. It was a close game. Icebox, that's done and dusted. Next map up will be Bind. Great players on Dixie and Relapse. It's a solid green block on the top of the leaderboard there. 5 first bloods each. The duelists doing their job for McTeam. And New Haven, great teamwork initially with the 4-player red. With the 4-player red block in the middle. But look, it's a close game, and it just couldn't come all the way. It's that tiny choice that could have changed the entire swing of things. So yeah, guys, I do apologize because it actually is Ascent, which will be the next map to be played. So we will be going for a short breather, and see you guys soon for map 2 of the Best of 3 series, McTeam versus New Haven. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Digital Casts, and of course, bringing to you the Events Over Time Journeyman League. This is the semifinals, and that was quite the thrilling map one to start things off tonight. New Haven versus McTeam. McTeam, obviously, they took the win, but they had to go the absolute distance. Overtime, just to win things out. Double OT, actually. But, well, I have to say it, you know, New Haven, they... I don't want to sound too overly critical, but New Haven, they had every advantage. Well, they had the advantage quite a few times on that map, but then just made such small, silly errors. As a result, they lost out. Just like, say, of course, B defense. I think their B defense with, who was it? Mystia as the Viper holding it down wasn't as good as the B defense of Jamie holding the angle down. Because Jamie, he has a very set play. He doesn't miss the poison orb. And that's one way, essentially. It blocks off the attackers for the time being. And plus, whenever he had to run out, he always used the poison orb first, and then he dashed out to safety, guaranteed. Well, Mystia, he kept getting caught behind yellow, and he just gets util spammed to absolute death. It was rough. It was very rough, to say the very least. But now, it does seem the teams are ready for Ascent, which will be map 2, and we finish things off on Haven, map 3. But looking at this right now, McTeam, in going by history, they're actually pretty good on Ascent. They've stomped quite a few teams. Obviously, the best team throughout the entire Journeyman League season was Ooga Booga on Ascent, but things have changed now. They've disbanded and they've gotten the hell out of here. So let's see how McTeam plays this. On paper, they are strong players. Ascent, a smaller map, aim heavy, aim focused, and of course with strong execution. McTeam, they should have the advantage. But New Haven, of course, they have a coach in their slots watching them, and things may be different. But once again, it's just, you cannot deny, on a more aim-heavy map and smaller as well, in which, yeah, players play tighter and need better team cohesion, I can't help but just side with McTeam on this one. I just have this feeling, my prediction at least, is that McTeam, they will be taking the series 2-0, although New Haven, they absolutely gave McTeam a run for the money on Icebox. I wasn't expecting that level of gameplay coming from both teams there. Well, regardless, we could be in for a long night. We'll see what happens if it does go to map 3, Haven. But yeah, look, once again, I can't really say too much regarding background from these two teams because, I'll be honest, the most played map in the entire Journeyman League has been Ascent. We haven't seen much Haven. We've barely seen Icebox. We've barely seen Bind. So go off on paper. There's really not much I can really talk about. The teams, however, they will have to switch sides. I believe, because New Haven starting off on the defense, of course, with McTeam on the attack, which, if that's correct, that's going to be really brutal because McTeam, you already know how focused they are and how well they play as a team. They should be able to take the sites relatively cleanly, and New Haven looking to play perhaps post-plant retake. Although that's just fully in theory at this point. Although I did make a slight clerical error on my end. McTeam, they are on the defense to start on Ascent. So New Haven, that's their chance to actually make up for ground and get a strong lead starting things off. Although we are just waiting for a slight player technical issue. Once again, switching accounts on the side of McTeam. And at the same time, it just makes you wonder, the coach for New Haven, what is he doing for them? Is he trying to calm them down? Tell them that that's all right. We lost map 1. We gave them a run for their money? Or are they telling him, all right, guys, here's the strats. Focus on Ascent. You know the strats we've rehearsed. And on the side of New Haven, we should be seeing Motion. Oh, no. Motion, he used to play Operator, I believe. But now they have Operator, who seems to be their duelist. We should be seeing him, once again, reprising his role as Jet. That's probably still a Sage, considering how well he played on Icebox. Somboy, Sova, Motion, a Sentinel, and Mystia, the Smoker. The dedicated smoker for their team. And finally, Ascent, it is underway. McTeam versus New Haven. McTeam on defense, New Haven on the attack. Let's go underway and check out these agent picks. So, okay, I was expecting that. The Astra pick instantly from McTeam. McDixie, still on the Jet. Relapse, of course, on the on Phoenix. Not quite something I expected. But Phoenix, yeah, he's not bad on Ascent, although Reyna would be better in my book. As you can see, Relapse has locked that in. The Reyna main, Chicken Leg on the Sova, an absolute must-pick on this map at the very least. And Sniper, who was Exile, actually. Different accounts for these players, gosh. Or maybe he's a sub. I'll have to get confirmation on that in a bit. But Sniper will be playing the Sentinel Killjoy for the side of McTeam. New Haven, though, looking to be much more stock standard. And notice that little whistle icon in the bottom right corner. That's the coach, Cone. Very nice touch. So yeah, New Haven, Omen, Jet, Sova, Killjoy, and probably one more duelist to make things even Stevens. And yeah, standard setup really from New Haven. Not much I can really say. I hope things do work out in their favor. But once again, McTeam, them playing Astra just tells me how rehearsed and how disciplined they are as a team, especially when they switch over to the attack side. They don't have any strong smokers. It will be Jamie on the Astra with the limited nebulas to make things work out for them. And now, of course, New Haven. Oh dear. How do you expect to play the attack? You have Sova utility, so that is a boon for them. But we are seeing the Sova that play. I thought he was going to play over towards top mid initially and recon arrow mid for his team. Turns out that won't be the case, as we see the rest of the team stack over towards the B sites. And New Haven, they may run into stiff resistance because look, this Astra util already over towards B main, expecting it to be a Nova Pulse or Gravity Well, or a Nebula, I'll be honest. Chicken Leg shot that, and not a recon to start things off. That's damage done already for the attack side. Motion flashes through. Jamie tapping away, almost getting killed now. Operator has made onto the site, and Jamie with the aggressive peek takes down one, almost getting the second. It doesn't matter. McTeam, they're swinging the players. There's a huge recon arrow by McChicken. He scans out everyone. Halfway on to miss the 2v4 now. At least New Haven, they can't plant the spike. Some boy has to get huge here. Taps down one. McDixie, of course, on the Marshall. Same, swipes them down. Spots out the outline of that, and through the wall with the maximum penetration of the Sheriff, takes him down. McTeam, clean, easy, fast round, strong defense, even better retake. New Haven, they had their backs against the wall there.
Swarm grenade out.
Yeah, New Haven, not much to really talk about there. They used an initial cloud burst to smoke off Market, and while they had the door closed, they just weren't expecting Jamie to push out so aggressively to help out his teammates who were on the B sites. And we are seeing them upgrade their pistols to Sheriffs to play with, maybe go for a Hail Mary B stack. But same story on the defense coming out from McTeam. Chicken Leg opting to not use the recon arrow, opening things up, instead using the damage dealing arrow. And McDixie, you were sharp with the Marshal, the Sheriff in the previous round. Can you do it again? Gravity Well, that's huge. It stuns him, and it should be an easy kill for McDixie. He gets distracted as Somboy takes him down. Relapse, maybe aggressing through short now, and Mistia pushing through by himself, gets taken out. Mistia, oh dear. Doesn't quite work out for them because right now Relapse, because he's gone now, but 1-for-1 trade. Sniper does manage to get a double for himself. So far, though, not a bad round for New Haven, I won't lie. When saying that, this could go from bad to worse as the Operator on the flank takes down one. Wasn't expecting Chicken Leg to also be playing with his teammate, even Stevens. And that's 2v1. Some boy, limited use, not much guns to work with. Does dodge the recon arrow for the time being. But I do think the Spiker will get revealed over towards outside B main. Some boy just has no idea that the last two players are so split apart. Yep, they know where the Spike is now, but Some boy 12 HP. And the timing walks right past Chicken Leg. And Sniper slowly working his way over towards mid, one can assume, to pinch him. And Chicken Leg just expecting Someboy to come through attacker spawn. He should be able to get the flick though. Indeed he does. Someboy, you go down like a sack of bricks. And McTeam, they gather their second round on the board. Although granted, New Haven didn't make it cheap for them. They lost 3 players. And now that the choice is, of course, do you invest heavily back into this round, or do you just play the bonus with half armor, full armor, and a pistol? In the past, we will be seeing these players perhaps go half armor Bucky, but you know, ever since the nerf, the Bucky's goddamn near useless now. No one plays the damn thing. At the distance you play with it, you might as well use the shorty. Although McTeam on the defense, though, this is a really heavy investment. You have Dixie on the operator, and pretty much a full bar coming out from the rest of the players. Jamie and Sniper, the only two SMGs to play with. Relapse has the gun to work with himself, a Guardian nonetheless. Gets smoked, gets paranoid, and will be... Sniper, he gets the initial kill onto operator. That's great, actually, McTeam. You weren't expecting that. For the running gun capabilities of the Spectre, just a little bit too strong. And Relapse, eats that shock dart. And the Yuto as well gets flushed the hell out of there, somehow surviving. And his teammates have it back them up. Jamie and Sniper, straight through, takes down more players. Oh, New Haven, this is not how they expected this round to go. The first buy round, no less. And all the guns are being handed over to McTeam. Last two players now, probably just trying to save what they have. But look, some of the players on McTeam, they have SMGs. So I would be expecting them to push, because if they died, then they didn't really lose much. But if they get the kill and survive, that's a gun that they can pick up. As I say, that motion does part of the head of Jamie and tracks him through the nebula. There's 20 seconds left, so if they book it right now, New Haven, they can potentially make it over towards the B site and plant the spike, but it's going to be a rough situation regardless. Dixie locking down mid, and looks like the last two players are going to have to save after all. Holding crossfire, holding each other's hands. Live to fight another day. McTeam, fantastic round. They were playing what one can assume was their bonus in the previous. But look, everything worked out fine for them. And now, economy looking strong. Rifles on pretty much every single player. It's only Relapse with the Guardian. Not that he can't perform with it. And now McDixie looking to get the initial pick over towards B-Link. Oh! Narrow shot. The great shoulder pick to come through. And also another bullet to come through. I think that almost dinked him, actually. So we'll force him back. And this time there's no Sage on both sides to bail these players out. On the operator with the Judge. You have to be careful now. You can't really invest into this push because Chicken Legs holding around the corner. The gun, the operator walks right into it, dashes into the wall. But at least Misty does manage to make things even, trading out towards market. Relapse is gone. There's only two defenders of McTeam over towards the B site. And New Haven, you can't be playing too slow now. You have to take charge and strike before a rotation comes through. The smoke is gone, so you won't know if anyone's coming through attackers, defender spawn. And Chicken Leg and Jamie, they know exactly what's coming towards them. Market, a two-player push. Great Nebula to come through, and the Killjoy lockdown. Chicken Leg and Jamie, they have to get the hell out of dodge and make it to safety. 4-on-4 post plants. New Haven, this definitely isn't what they expected. Great gravity well, and Jamie spraying things down. Purple come through though. That's a huge spray down. Only gets one motion, almost a second. That's way to safety, and Dixie misses that. Such an easy shot. Misty takes his head right off. New Haven, what a turn of events! Oh, through the smoke. I don't even think Motion managed to see Jamie. If he did, that is one hell of a reaction time. All down to the lonesome sniper. Exile. And Mistia, oh my god! Just way too sharp. Pushes right through and catches out Sniper. I think they had some sort of intel that he was holding over towards the angle. He was isolated, and that's why Mistia was just staring the angle down, even pinged, and pushed right through. Easy kill. Now that's a good round coming from New Haven. But look, if map on was anything to go off of, things are going to be back and forth. McTeam though, the economy not too bad. They can buy back into this with only a SMG on one of the players. And New Haven, stock standard default, although that gets spotted out, and Dixie gets the easiest kill. He had teammates to back him up regardless if he gets taken out early though. And Motion, oh my god, another shot through smoke. Just crosshair plants tapping away, and Relapse is gone now. A bit of a far cry from his early map 1 insane performance. McTeam, you're down a player, but you have the Hunter's Fury. If you can even things up, that'll be a huge boon to work with. Cosmic Divide, don't count that out either. timing just narrowly not working out, and Jamie evens it up. All duck back to safety inside market. Surely here's the footsteps though. And it looks like the last 3 players of New Haven are going to be dedicating themselves over towards the A site, in which there is a heap of utilities stacked over towards there. Motion going to dash on first, and Chicken Wing just biding his time, hoping to catch a few players off guard. Spots out one. The dink got to operator, but still gets taken down either way. Sniper holding far back and gets spotted out.
30 seconds.
It doesn't matter because he's just too sharp. Some boy can't land his shots, and one at a time the falling operator was so low. It's all down to Motion. 1v2. The runner back brought him back to safety up towards short, and Sniper walks around to his crosses. Another curveball come through. It's in the way that Jamie's right behind him over towards short. Oh, the timing! Motion! Here's a gunshot, escapes to safety, and finally can plant the spike. Jamie, that was so close.
Spike planted.
I like what he was doing as well, holding the angle in case it was a fake plant to come through from Motion. But Motion surely knows where Jamie is. Jamie just a little bit too sharp. Wins the duel. The last player from McTeam surviving, and I do think they're trying to find out what the operator was playing. And Jamie as well, just a little bit of BM in the chat. Calculated, I swear, saying when he initially whipped that shot, and then still played the 1v1 perfectly. He just had the better aim. And Motion almost clutching things out. But look, oh, it didn't happen. Absolutely disastrous. But can I point out though, he used the runner back in the previous round. Got 2 kills, died, planted the spike. Look at him now. 3 out of 6 charges for his ultimate. That's good. That's really good. He could potentially have a world in which he uses the running back again this very round. But so this time though, McTeam, they should have the advantage, as the buys will be even on both sides, with the exception of Dixie on the operator again. But they have 4 ultimates for McTeam. There's no reason in which they should lose this defensive round. And Dixie's a really aggressive angle. Should be good for 1 pick initially. Pushes out aggro though, misses the flick, and wants the dash back away to safety. But at least they have intel that there aren't 2 players over towards B Link. You have your Omen and you have your Phoenix. Somboy, shoulder gets spotted out first, and Relapse takes his head clean off of it. Operator now goes for the trade. That's a clean knife. Dices Relapse up. It's just so even, so back and forth. Although Dixie, this is huge. Goes for the aggressive push. That's an easy kill into Misty. No one expected Dixie to be so aggressive. And this is really good coming out from McTeam now on their defense. I like how proactive they play things. They always go aggressive and just trying to get some intel. The Aldrun cleared the entire path towards B, and that's also what allowed Dixie to go so aggressive. And this time, Motion, yep, wasn't expecting Jamie to be holding so close. 1 at a time now. New Haven, they're not playing together as a team. They're going solo, going for hero plays, and they're dying 1 at a time. 2v4 now. I like the idea by operator and Chicken Leg. All he has to do is sit over towards the B side and to wait for a rotation to come through.
30 seconds left.
Dixie locks down market, and of course the other player locks down defender spawn. You do have the operator going for the plant, and Chicken Leg, he's going to get this easy kill. Yep, the execution, and Dixie takes down that from market. Really clean round from the team. That's what I can really say. New Haven, that was sloppy, I would say. Especially early on over towards B main. Who was it? I think that he heard the Aldrun coming. He destroyed it. He ran to safety, but was it communicated to his team? I'm not too sure. Because usually, right, you can always expect a player to be following an Aldrun while the util clears the path. And that's exactly what happened. Dixie didn't quite catch out that, but instead caught the smokes of New Haven. Mistia just standing out in the open, not even focusing over towards B main. That was perhaps the downhill slide of a slippery slope. Do or die round for New Haven now. They have to win this out. Dixie does get spotted out, and they know exactly that he has a big gun to play with. He can afford to go for the aggressive peek still, but the Hunter's Fury does do damage. Catches out 1. Operator still spraying through. 1-for-1 trade. And the util just keeping New Haven at bay. They're not playing fast enough. Dixie a point blank. Should be able to get the shot. Indeed, Motion gets taken out. Somboy as well. Dixie's just on a roll right now. New Haven, they can't strike things back while Misty manages to pick up 2 for himself. Really aggressive TP onto a high angle. But that was risky. If there was one player towards glass, he would have been taken down. Thankfully, though, no one's there. Things just may work out, but the Aldrun, it may spawn him out. Yep, we'll have to get the hell out of there. Oh, Jamie now. So lurking along. Walking catches out Mistia. 1v2. That's, I have to say, good luck. Gets spotted out by the recon arrow. Not long for this world. And McTeam, they confirmed the 6th round on the board, looking so clean on Ascent.
You fail. Now sleep.
Now, can I also just point out right now that McTeam, besides the fact that they're on a bit of a roll, this is 6 rounds, pretty much back to back. They have guns to play with, they have money, they have ultimates, really. But New Haven, this is their eco, half armor, upgraded pistols, most likely. Motion, 1 off of the runner back. And also that he still hasn't gotten a single kill yet on the 8th round, still sitting on the donut. So that's not good. I could not resist, I'm sorry. Hello, McTeam. Should have this round in the bag while New Haven goes for the aggressive play. Dixie does get splashed off, and it's now Relapse sitting in the corner like a goblin, managed to become an easy kill for himself. Operator somehow makes his way to defend the spawn, very confused as to where the players were, and walks around to the arms of Jamie. That finally does get his first kill on the board, getting 1 sharp shot, but now 2v4 now. It's stuck on the lane. That is gun to play with. Can't quite land the spray down while Jamie cleans up. Another clean, easy, quick round from McTeam. Oh, there. This lead, it just does not stop. They are unrelenting, and things are just working out so well for them. It just seems to me that right now, New Haven, I don't want to sound too biased, but they're not doing their due diligence on these rounds. But granted, that was eco, so they put all the money on the hard rush over towards B. But once again, you know, the flash came through from Motion, and the entire team, they were coming out slowly, one at a time out of B main, and that's what allowed Relapse to just hold the angle down. And when you're already on the eco versus hard rifles, you need every advantage you can get. You can't afford to lose a single player. If they push out as a team, though, either they could have gone really badly, or they could manage to trade things out. And as I say that, Operator gets 1 kill. Operator gets a second off the sniper as well. Fantastic shot over towards short. And Dixie, can he retaliate in tow? Great flick! Motion's gone. That's a runner back. Disappeared. And he goes for a second peek. Just a little bit too greedy. And Mistia caps his head. New Haven. Oh, this is good. They turn things around. Oh, Chicken Leg just walks right through and catches the headshot onto Mistia, who unfortunately couldn't get the early shot off. Although New Haven, it does look like they are wanting to commit over towards the A sites, and that's what the last 2 players of McTeam essentially are holding. Jamie, here's the util being popped. The Nebula over towards A long and holds players at bay for the time being. Gravity well as well, and dumping yet another star down. Jamie, what a nice Nova Pulse. I think it may have actually stunned a few players. Catches out 1, McChicken Leg tries with the Sunboy. Jamie now couldn't quite get that. Now Sova versus Sova. That is his time to shine. Gets spotted out either way, and still managed to get the shot onto the Chicken Leg. Big Team so close there. 1 shot could have made the difference just then. And New Haven, they double their rounds. McTeam, goodness gracious. It's just these... I'm not too sure what's going on, but in this semi-finals right now, we're seeing both these teams. When they have great rounds, it goes great. But when they don't, it just looks so sloppy. That round from McTeam. You already know there was an operator on operator towards B Link, and Sniper I think still went for the repeat. I'm not too sure why. Relapse was caught in the corner, and as a result, instead of using util to buy himself out of there, he just ran out and gets dunked. New Haven, the standard MO, gonna play defensive and play default. They took mid control, they're taking control of both sides, and we should be seeing the ult being picked up by them. So this is the second time now across two games in which we've seen pretty much 10 ultimates available on both sides. Chicken Leg 1 off of the Hunter's Fury as well. All he needs is 1 single kill, and he'll have it. And New Haven, they're starting to ferry the spike over towards the A side, but look at how much mid control right now we're seeing McTeam get. New Haven will not see this coming. This is going to be a huge curveball, and we should be seeing the kill over towards short on Mistia. He's just not even paying attention over towards mid. Short, he dies at this point. Motion runs out over towards the B side, spots no one there. What is going on? The fake is worked out. Killjoy lockdown being dumped over towards the A side. Jamie takes that Motion, relapse onto Mistia, and the A side take. It's a bit slow. I won't deny at this point. That's trying to take down the Killjoy lockdown. He's missing too much though, and that's not good. I think this round is just done and dusted. That's going to get detained. And it's an easy kill from McTeam. 1 by 1, this Swarman and Mo operating by himself. Wants out the dive up, gets 1 initial kill. That's great. McTeam spam from all angles, gets 2 for himself before he goes down. And McTeam, What is this shenanigans? They go mid, they flank out over towards B main, and they still managed to get get 2 kills. One on B onto Motion, who was on the run it back in B main, and then the other on short. I think that was Mistia, who was just waiting around. Oh damn! This is what happens. Okay, let me just catch my breath. It's good that New Haven, they are playing defaults and they are playing slowly, not letting, you know, the defense get too much map control early on. But when no one's really playing defaults anymore or holding these angles, everyone just waiting for the A site take, you're too tunnel vision. And that's what, and then McTeam, they take so much map control. What? Absolutely speechless. Now in this round, look, it's going to have to be an eco from New Haven, and this is looking a little bit dangerous. With McTeam, you're already 6 rounds up. If you're getting more and more intel, and they Sova Owl can't be popped by Operator with 1 mag. So they at least know it should be an eco on New Haven. Confirmed. And I don't think Operator's long for this world. He walks around to the crosshairs of Chicken Leg, and Dixie looking to get off the pipe for himself as well. My god! This guy, he's also on fire now. Chicken Leg once more. Beautiful curve coming out from Motion, but unfortunately I don't think it will amount to much. The spike gets dunked down by Dixie, and Relapse getting 1, finally gets traded out by Misty as it's 1 kill and has a gun to work with now, but Dixie, surely no one's going to be expecting him on that angle, drops down in the worst possible timing. Misty picks up his head, but still in 1-on-3, no smokes to play with it at this point. Spots that sniper, that was just bait. The footsteps from Chicken Leg does reveal himself. It was just bait, while Jamie comes from behind with a backstab. McTeam now 9-2, 7-round advantage. Last round of the first half. If this is a 10-2, I hate to say it, but we could be seeing a clean 2-0.
Should I play some stars in this reality?
Also, Justin, I want to point it out. Interesting voice line by Astra. I think she said BYB, not BRB. Correct me if I heard wrong though. And yet, New Haven, they invested a lot of their ultimates in the previous 3 rounds. Now they will have nothing to play with over towards the last round of the first half. Misty, you do have the From the Shadows TP, but how much good is going to do you as he takes down Relapse? Sniper holding in this close angle, though. Here's the players dunking on. Catches out Operator, but can't quite get the spray down. That's just disgusting to watch. Can escape the safety, though. That's good. But now point blank. Oh, the right click from Jet will confirm the kill to Motion, who had Curveball to play with, by the way. And 1 by 1, McTeam to get in the kills, and New Haven, they're falling. Cosmic Divide to come through. If Dixie does get pulled back to the time being, Motion manages to take down 1, but it's all down to Dash by himself, 1-on-3. He's hunting inside the util, can't quite get his shot. Well, it was Dixie who managed to snipe him down from above. The slice and dice, and McTeam, they do take double digits. This is the worrisome part for New Haven now.
Switching sides.
The second half, and McTeam, what do you do?
I should play some
I mean, sorry. If you're New Haven, what do you do? You're down by 8 rounds. Nothing has worked for you on the first half when you're on defense. Now, you are on the attack. You have to pull some serious strats now. You have to win almost flawlessly to make up for that round disparity. Because every single round that McTeam gets, it's going to edge them ever so much closer to victory. And by the way, they only need 3 more rounds. 3. They're already on double digits. That's basically you're walking up the plank over towards the noose. McTeam. Oh, sorry, McTeam, they're on the defense and made things work out that well. Imagine them on the attack. These colors, man. Oh, they missed the up. Misses the right click. Does get the kill confirmed. Gets 2 for himself. That's huge on pistol round. Juking around. And manages to spin around 1. And he takes down Dixie. Oh, McTeam, how do you die to 1 player over towards the archers? Some boy. He spotted the last 2 players towards B main. And I do think the Sharks smell blood. Sniper and Chicken Leg, what do you do? It's all down to Sniper now. Be true to your name. Because you're getting pinched from all angles. The frenzy has to go huge here. He has to line them up and spray them down. Gets damaged so heavily, 16 HP, can't afford to reload. And of course, he wasn't going to survive this round. Holy moly, what a play by Misty over towards Archers. That was a brilliant kill chain. Nothing worked out in the favor of McTeam. They were all confused, running around in between the Nebula and Mistia. Jesus. He should not have lived to see the dawn of day. The carry right now for New Haven, 14 kills. In fact, the only player on double digits, and it should allow New Haven to play with armor and upgraded weaponry, while McTeam, yeah, let's not count them out just yet. You have pistols, but they play together much better as a team. We can run by that, may spot a few players out though. Gets popped, no one is spotted. Oh, missed it, sniping away, takes down Sniper. Sunboy. A Nano Swarm will buy time for a rotation to come through. Oh, Mistia is just spotting out Dixie. One at a time, though. They are getting tagged down. Alarm Bot, Nano Swarm, jamming solo, relapse, a lick away from death. Sunboy, you can honestly just chain these kills so easily. Spike, it disappeared from his eyes. A little bit of Houdini trick. Sniping away through this smoke. Gets one. Finally gets taken down while Dat cleans up. Wow. Great initial 2 opening rounds from New Haven on the second half. So it looks like they are more comfortable on defense, but hey, that was the pistol and that was the anti-eco. Now is the real deal because McTeam, they'll have armor and rifles to play with. New Haven, bring your A game. Mistia, the only player with a stronger rifle. Everyone else, a Judge, Bulldog, 2 Spectres, and Sunboy though. He is 2 points off of the Killjoy lockdown, so it should be in his best interest to either die or get a few kills and charge the thing up. Operator, a really aggressive play going over towards B-Link there. Spots out one, that's an easy kill to Jamie. Point blank with the Judge, while Mistia confirms one on the chicken leg on the other side of the map. One at a time, McTeam, they're getting worked away systematically. That's a disastrous spray coming up from Relapse. Couldn't quite get the kill. But McTeam, they are going to be edging over towards the A site. You do have a single Phoenix there, so try to hold things down. He does get spotted. Has a curveball to play with, but I do think this is discipline from New Haven. They're waiting for the rest of the team to come through before they use their utility and swing the retake in their advantage on the motion, getting dangerously close to the enemies there, pal. Nice shock dart. That's really fast. No one's going to see it coming, although it doesn't really quite catch anyone. Perhaps a recon arrow initially would have been better. As Dixie gets taken out by Operator, and one at a time, New Haven, they're starting to work together as a team. The doubles, the buddy system, all down the sniper now. 1v5, spraying blindly. The curveball from Motion, I think, blinded his team. It doesn't matter as he picks up the last kill. Flawless rounds come through, and now they're not sticking the defuse just yet as they go around filching off of the rifles off of McTeam. Now this could be a potential comeback we're seeing in the making. New Haven, I like that. They won the pistol, they won the anti-eco, and now they won their bonus round as well.
Yeah.
In no part, wait, in no part, is that how you say it? No. In no small feats, really, because you had Mistia and I think someone else getting the initial picks over towards top mid early round. Just showing that aggression on defense is really good, especially when you're on the bonus, the gun disadvantage. So you equalize things by going aggressive with your inferior guns and give yourself the man advantage. Now McTeam, once again, similar story. The conga line with upgraded pistols over towards B main. Early Utah will clear out close corners and perhaps any close range Killjoy. Center Swarms while Sunboy holding back sight. Good Center Swarm burns down Dixie, but Dixie just before he died managed to dead man's finger the shot. Site has been taken. Spike gets planted. Great shot, I have to say. But look, they still have inferior guns. Only one rifle to really work with. New Haven, there's no way they should be losing this round. One player looking over towards main, and there should be a player watching the angle while everyone else works onto the sites. Recon arrow spots out a few players. Now this is a recon arrow. That was the Aldra initially. Oh, the great Molotov. It burned a few players. Jamie, one lick away from death. You Relapse holding down the angle, gets flashed to hell. Easy kill. It's all down to the last player. Chicken Leg gets one for himself. Recon arrow comes through. Picks up a rifle. 1-on-3 though. Head landing hard headshots. Misses. Well, that takes him down. New Haven, they guarantee the defuse, and that's their 6th round. Bear in mind, when we started this half, they were 2-10. Now they're 6-10. That's quite the feat. Let's not even talk about their economy as well. New Haven, a few players already capped the hell out. You have ultimates to play with. Everyone within a few points from having their respective ultis. Motion, the runner back, especially. Keep your eyes on that. That is a real game changer, as well as Motion. Killjoy lockdown for a retake potentially. Meanwhile, McTeam, they can buy back into this. They have a loss bonus going pretty hard. And if they lose this round, I'm pretty sure they can still force back in, but it'll be in the best interest not to. They're already on double digits, and they shouldn't be looking to lose anymore. McTeam though, this is the A stack to come through. Our drone flushes them in, and now Killjoy Lockdown does get deployed. And New Haven, I do hope to see their players run away and play the 5v5 post-plant retake, because they have ultimates of their own to play with. Great play by Motion there as well. He closed the door on his way out and still destroyed it. So it's one less angle that the defenders have to worry about to an extent when they retake the site. Dixie, aggressive angle. The Elder almost spot him out though. He's going to have to back the hell out of there. And New Haven killed your lockdown. There's waiting for it to be dunked on Sunboy. It comes down, and this is going to be really rough because the Hunter's Fury from Chicken Lake, he knows exactly where the lockdown is placed, and he won't fail it this time. So, back to square one now. New Haven looks like it will have to be the old ways. Guns blazing. Jamie gets tagged down. The curve will come through, and Motion just leading the way. Pumping bullets down range. There's still 2 players over towards Hell. Only one now. The relapse goes huge. A single tap finishes off another player. 2-on-2. Goes down to Mistia. And suddenly, in a blink of an eye, you've missed everything. New Haven, they retake the site. They get the defuse. And, oh no, they don't have time. They don't have time. Oh no! And all the last 2 players die. New Haven, they put all their eggs in the basket on the Killjoy lockdown to retake. When things didn't work out, they realized, oh hey, we have to go using the old methods. And then they took way too long. It was a great retake, all things considered. Really clean shots from everyone. It was just bloody chaos on site. But, oh, the timing. So in the future, I think the meta for a lot of these teams they have to realize is the Killjoy lockdown, it's not a one-trick pony. It can't solve all your issues. I won't lie, I did miss that this over on McTeam they had the Hunter's Fury to play with. So I probably could have seen that one coming. But now McTeam, buying back into this. New Haven as well, the operator is invested, but their economy is teetering on the edge of collapse. Motion to run it back. This could be the real game changer now. Oh dear, that's not good. Misses the initial engagement, and that's quite a few players though. Looks to be another 5-on-5 post-plant situation. Absolute chaos part 2. While that Aldrin comes through, spots out quite a few players onto the site, and that's a really good nano swarm. They're sitting in it for quite a while. Once again, similar story with the shock darts, although it won't amount to much. Operator had a good idea while relapsing the first goal onto Sunboy. Misty now on the flank executes Jamie. That's a smoke's gone, but Dixie still going aggressive, takes down another player. Motion to push onto the site, but now all on him to run it back. Misses the kill, and oh dear, this is not what you want to see. Motion, great curveball though, pushes on, gets one for himself, and he's just flinging his wrist, trying to get every single angle covered. And Dixie, staying calm and collected, gets the match point for McTeam.
Match point.
Oh, you have to say, it was a really great attempt by New Haven. The comeback, there was potential. And then McTeam put an absolute stop to the momentum. And that one more round, that will take things home. 2-0 fashion. The buy for McTeam, looking really good. Dixie with the Blade Storm to play with, but otherwise not really much to talk about. New Haven, though, it's going to be scrappy. You do have Operator with the Stinger and the Blade Storms, so he can potentially be a ray of light in the darkness. But look, he has to go huge. That's the problem. They see this one's coming. McTeam see this coming. It's an absolute lineup. The Congo line, and Operator walks right into an absolute firing squad. Takes down one, and McTeam, oh, their brains are just bursting out of their seams right now. And Mister, he hears the rotate over towards the A side. He has to call it right now. But here's the Guardian at this distance. Perhaps the judge is better. And McTeam is so aware. They're holding the long angle, and Misty misses the shot. Dixie just a little bit too fast for him. Sunboy now on the flip side going aggro. Great shot! Takes down Relapse, so numbers are still even. And Motion, this guy, he is breaking his wrist right now. The adrenaline must be pumping so hard. As he gets intel, here's the footsteps, and he will confirm that the players on the team are probably going to be working over towards the A site. Jet dashes on first, and Motion going to prevent the door from being closed just for a little bit longer. While that, time and time again, the similar story with the shock darts. I think that time nearly almost worked out. And while Motion takes down Dixie, who went to a little bit too aggressive there. Man advantage for New Haven. They're not out of this just yet, while waiting for Sunboy on the flank to catch a player. Sunboy indeed spots at Jamie. Similar story. That's the second time now Jamie's been executed over towards long. All in the sniper, 1v3. He can do this. He has the right gun to play it with. Let's get Wallbang to death now. Pushes right through the smoke. That's Motion. He gets taken down by Sniper. And that's a sharp shot by Dak to end things. And New Haven, they hang on.
No, you don't deserve my inventions.
7-12. A 5-round deficit. But now, New Haven, every single round has to be flawless. You can't really afford to lose players. You can't afford to lose rounds, especially. They have ultimates to play with now, and they are on the defense side. Operator has invested the $5,000 into the 50 cal, and McTeam, they have room to play this, so they are going to play just a little bit slower. Although it's a bit of a mystery. You do have Sniper investing heavily into this round. In fact, quite a few players. It does seem like they want to close things out right here, right now. And Sniper gets spotted out, though. Cal, but Misty can't quite land the shot. Motion was there trying to get the trade. And Sniper just a little bit too aware. Uses U-Tool to buy himself out of there. Motion, the only player over towards the site, gets spotted out early on. Nanoswarm's coming through. And finally, Dixie with the execution. McTeam. This is a force-up. They're making things work in their favor. That great pre-fire manages to get these spike plants and take him down. But now just jumping the gun a little bit. Does do damage up to relapse, but being Reyna is not the end of the world because you can still overheal with a single kill. Sniper catches Motion jumping down. And this is not up the lie. That. And you have one more. That and Operator now. 2v4. Lockdown as well. They have to go fast and they have to go now because the spike is sticking away. That Operator dives onto the site, has the wrong gun to play with, and Jamie and Relapse to clean things up. McTeam, they win it 13-7. GG's. Unfortunately, New Haven has been eliminated from the bracket. McTeam, they will move on to the grand finals to play the winner of Nebula versus Sanguine. And my money is on Nebula. I'll get confirmation real soon who won the game, but definitely I am pretty sure Nebula won. And actually, I just got told right now that Nebula, they won their game 2-1. So they got a map 3 on their end, but this McTeam, much better performance, 2-0 series, easy peasy. And as a result, look, that's done and dusted. Next week, what's it tomorrow? We'll see what happens. But it will be the grand finals now. Nebula versus McTeam. Looking at the scoreboard real soon. Mistia set 19 kills, well, highest combat score. So he was doing a lot of work for New Haven, especially in the first half. The only player really to be, standing his ground and stopping McTeam from going to aggro. But they couldn't really go all the way as McTeam. Just a better team play in general. They still won up the day. And towards that final round there as well, just saw how confident they were. You had a 5-round lead, and you had a very scrappy buy. A few players on SMGs. You had one player, I think it was with the pistol. They had to use their abilities, especially with Dixie with the Blade Storms, to get things going. And yeah, that's the end of a pretty brief story. 2-0. McTeam, congratulations. You make it to the grand finals, and just ever so much closer to that $400 first place prize. Although, I have to say, MVP for this game, personally, I probably would have to give it to Dixie. The man was popping off. Icebox was a bit of a slower day, a slight warm-up, but he still put up numbers. And then Map 2, man was hitting all the shots, just locked out New Haven on the while they were on the attack side. So yeah, that's everything now done and dusted. Catch you guys in the grand finals of Nebula versus McTeam. So yeah, do give the Events Over Time Twitter page a follow for the latest updates. And of course, I am Digital Cast. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. I stream a lot of Valorant. I cast Valorant mostly. And of course, don't forget the lovely cameraman at Crash OBS. He was the one guiding us through the chaos. It got a little bit adventurous there towards the end, but we still got the job done. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed the show, and see you for the grand finals.